Hello again. This has only been a bit since the last video, but I gotta film regardless because I got to get these both up. So let's talk about the truth regarding fairness and cooperation. See, simple truth is, the world ain't fair. It is uncaring. It does not hold us in any weight itself. We can choose to hold ourselves with some weight. We can choose to value ourselves. But the world don't care. It will gladly see you die, no matter your age, your gender, your race, anything. You could be the most popular person in class, best actor, best doctor, whatever. Does not matter. You could die the next day and the world will move on as if nothing changed. Why? Because the world does not care. It is too big to care. And might also be considered inanimate, which, fair. But that also means it's unfair. And so, we must accept that when we make our plans. And so, when working, the results will sometimes not be proportional. In fact, importantly, when you're working, it's often better to expect that the work will not exactly come out in a proportional way. Sometimes people just get more credit than they deserve. Sometimes people get less credit than they deserve. It just happens. People are people. And things are different than reality. And so, we must act accordingly. Acting in such a manner to minimize this damage caused by unfairness is advised. Just because the world is not fair, and people are not always fair, does not mean we can't minimize the damage that's caused by it. You should still reward people for doing good work. After all, why do good if you get nothing out of it? Duty? How many people would just wear themselves down with such a thing to the point of uselessness? Plenty. So you can't rely on just duty. You should reward those who do good. And in order to achieve larger goals, cooperation between individuals is necessary. In many instances, it's often a requirement to achieve them. And so even if the results are unfair, the benefits of cooperation almost always outweigh the costs. This means when you wish to work as a group, it is best to cooperate even when things don't seem initially fair in order to achieve a goal, or when the outcome doesn't exactly seem fair. Let's say you all put in effort, but some dude did 80% of the work. Well, then he should get 80% of the credit, but sometimes it'll be split evenly. Is that fair? No. But it happens. And you should act, one, to achieve the goal, while knowing that this is a very real possibility, and two, if it does come to pass, rewarding the person yourself, showing them proper respect, or telling the boss or whoever is giving out rewards or credit that insert person here did more work and should be respected for it. Why? Well, one, it's just polite, and two, it's good to encourage good behavior. It's good to encourage people helping each other out and rewarding them for doing so. To give an example that's something I haven't experienced but I do have some relationship to given my family, let's look at the military for example. Tell me, do you think the military rewards every average Joe that gets into a fight? You get deployed overseas, sent to battle. Do you think people are going to remember you? Most no. No, they won't. Your friends, sure, if they live. But most will not care, or even know. Who gets the credit when an operation succeeds? It isn't the individual private who did an important thing. It's the general, or the individual commander who commanded that battle, who handled that situation. But tell me, just because that's the case, should you suddenly just not fight? I mean, should you suddenly just say, yeah, I can sabotage my friend so I ensure I'm left and get the credit? No, that's suicidal. It's utterly daft and frankly absurd. The military is the best example because it is the closest you can get to life or death situations when it comes to this. It is the epitome of the idea that even when the world is unfair, even if you suffer because of another, cooperation is still a good idea and still often required to achieve your goals. There are plenty of stories of absurdly skilled fighters, Audie Murphy, Alvin York, etc., etc., and even they still had to rely on others. Audie Murphy was not alone when he was in Italy. He may have been alone for brief periods, but he was not completely alone. He had reinforcements. He had supplies provided by others. York similarly had his lines that he returned to with his prisoners. He had a commanding officer. He was not alone. War is not a game that can be played single, because if you do, you die. Especially when it comes to firearms. The moment there's two people versus one, just the fact that there's two people with a gun versus one means the one is almost always going to lose, especially if everyone's trained in that scenario. That's just how it is. And so for the military, this is especially important, because it is literally life or death in numerous situations. But it still applies to your life and to everyone else's. The world ain't fair, that's just how it is. But cooperation is necessary in many instances. So don't let the unfairness hang up your coat and make you think, I shouldn't work with others. Instead say, well, it ain't fair. Doesn't mean I can't do my part, and if I do more than others, be happy with it, and if I do less than others, reward them, so that they do the same to me, and show me respect when I do more for them. Why? Because let's face it, that's pretty much the only thing you can do. Sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes everyone gets the rewards that they're appropriately due. But is that often? Let's be real, no. The life that we live is not guaranteed to be good or pleasant. People are not guaranteed to get the credit they deserve. People live in an unfair world, and that's the world we live in. Can we help it? Nah. But can we act appropriately in such a situation and ensure we don't sabotage ourselves and others? That we can do. And so we should. And we should behave appropriately. A society cannot exist if everyone stabs each other in the back. So instead, let's show our hands open and show that we have no intention of using a knife for such a purpose. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed.